A transgender athlete from Urupa Valley took home her first gold in the girls' high jump at the California High School Track and Field Championship today. A.B. Hernandez shares her first place win with two other athletes who also cleared a height of 5 feet 7 inches. Hernandez also placed second in the long jump. Her participation has drawn national attention, sparking controversy. President Trump even threatened to pull federal funding from the state. Earlier this week, the California Interscholastic Federation changed its policy. It allowed an additional student to compete and even medal in events where Hernandez qualified.
Yes, here we are again. Should trans women be in women's sports? Is it fair for males to compete against females? I think this is an easy one. I don't know why we're still talking about this. Males are generally physically stronger than females. That is why we even have female sports, women's sports, same thing. Sports is segregated by sex, and a man identifying as a woman doesn't suddenly remove this advantage. And whenever I see these men compete against women, I can't help thinking about the Empire's new suit. Everyone can see what the problem is, but no one is saying anything.
We heard from Hernandez's mother after the competition today.
People need to know. People need to know, our truth. There's a lot of hate being spread. Fortunately for us, AB's blessed, and there's been definitely more support, more love than what's being told.
Nobody cares about your truth. People care about the truth. And the truth is different than your truth. Your child is a boy, is a male, and shouldn't compete against girls. Period. Something your son will never get. You can call the backlash you get hate all you want, but it doesn't make it true. Pointing out all the unfairness doesn't make you hateful. It actually makes you logical and sympathetic, empathetic. In this case, towards girls, the girls who are affected by this whole thing. It would actually make more sense to call you a hater, hateful, by forcing your son to compete in girls' sports when you know it's not rational, when you know it's unfair.
This isn't some complicated gray area. This is basic biology and common sense. This is the erasure of female athletics.
Exactly. It's really not that complicated.
The group Equity California says the CIF's new rules represent somewhat of a pilot program, being inclusive to all students. Meanwhile, Governor Newsom hasn't been definitive about where he stands, saying he understands both sides.
When it comes to certain topics, it's not really possible to understand both sides. And when it comes to this topic, either you support the concept of women's sports, women having their own category, being separated from men because it wouldn't make sense and it's unfair, or you're on the side of woke, radical trans activists who don't care about women, who want to abolish women's rights, women's spaces. You support sexism. Because the question is it unfair? And it's a very easy question to answer. Yes. Yes, it's unfair. There's basically no nuance. You don't need nuance, really, because it's not a human right to compete in sports. And competing in the opposite sex sports has nothing to do with alleviating gender dysphoria, has nothing to do with the gender transition. There's no desire for actual transsexual women to do this to women. A transsexual woman's process is not like hormones, or legal changes, hormones, compete in women's sports, surgeries. No. And speaking of hormones, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if a man has been on estrogen for, let's say, 2 to 3 years. If the man is 30 or in his 40s, he has had all the benefits of being on testosterone, having testosterone in their blood for many, many years. And estrogen will not erase all of it. And even for a 16-year-old boy, I don't know if he's on estrogen or not, there's still some fundamental differences, especially when it comes to anatomy.
In the women's long jump, a biological male just broke the state record by 8 feet in a long jump in the women's category. The individual's name is A.B. Hernandez. Can at least we agree that biological men should not be able to compete in youth sports against women?
I think it's a way more nuanced subject than just that.
There is no nuance in a very clear moral argument that men and female sports should not coexist, and those distinctions are necessary to be defended. There's no nuance there, and something not you. The liberals like to act as if, well, there's always nuance in this. Actually, most moral topics don't always have nuance. There's exceptions. But instead of living in the land of exceptions, we should live in the land of moral clarity, something the left objects to, they hate, and the university constantly confuses.
Brilliant. He's absolutely right. But I will say not all leftists agree with this. I want to point out some things that happened during the competition that I thought was quite fascinating.
No boys and girls sports. This is flying over the CIF track championship right now in Clovis, California at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
I think that's very cool. It's not the only thing that happened. Listen to this.
That's a boy! That's a boy! That's a man, man!
This man was not the only one who protested, if you can call it that. Women also were furious.
I'm gonna listen. I don't have to. I have a right to speak truth. Boys are boys, girls are girls. This guy does not belong competing against those girls, period. What a coward of a woman you are allowing that. What a coward telling girls to go and compete against a boy? How embarrassing. You're a mother. You're a mother. Stand up like a mother. I am a mother. I'm protecting girls. You want a boy. How many people support the boy competing against the girls? Nobody. Don't tell me to shut up. I was respectful to you. Okay. Of course not. Be a little mom. No, you're not. You're a coward. Your mental illness is on your son, you coward.
That's a little harsh, but I totally get it. People are so fed up, they don't even know how to interact with other people anymore. When you're this angry, it shows that you've been angry for a very long time. Not just angry, but you felt defeated. And A.B. Hernandez competing didn't help. It should not be necessary to yell like this at strangers because you disagree on things. And it's a very serious topic, and I totally agree with her. But when acting like this, insulting others, and being aggressive, you end up losing the debate. First of all, these women who support trans women in women's sports are not gonna listen to you. Like physically, they're not gonna hear you. And it does matter. Maybe you won't be able to change their minds, but it still matters. And second of all, this is public. It's being filmed and other people are gonna watch this clip. And when being in this type of situation, you're also trying to convince other people that you're right about whatever you're debating. Not being able to keep your cool is the biggest no-go when being in a debate. But this is not a formal debate, I know. Women, mothers are so frustrated. And I feel really bad for the young girls out there who want to compete in sports and maybe they feel it, why bother? Why bother? I want to show you a clip of A.B. Hernandez responding to the backlash he gets.
Is that even registering as you're competing?
Honestly, no. I'm still a child, you're an adult, and for you to act like a child shows how you are as a person. Nothing I can do about people's actions, just focus on my own.
On Saturday, other competitors beat Hernandez in 2 of her 3 events. She won first place in triple jump. She is not currently ranked nationally, and she has been outperformed by over 2 meters in her jumps by girls competing in states that have banned gender-affirming care.
All I thought was, I don't think you understand that this puts your idiotic claims to trash. Now you have no proof that I can't be beat.
So, should the law be like, if trans girls, if trans women don't win, maybe they only win silver, they're allowed to compete in women's sports? That is the argument I hear. Oh, she didn't win. Well, she didn't win all of them. It doesn't make any sense. Then we need an actual psychic. Not the ones you can buy, pay for, but a magical being that doesn't exist. Like someone who can actually magically tell what's going to happen in the future. No one can predict the future, but generally, males are stronger than females. And that's the only fact you will need when deciding if trans women should be in women's sports or not. When trans women are competing against women, no matter if they win or not, they're still taking the spot from an actual female. In this case, a girl. And it's unacceptable. And from what I can tell, it doesn't sound like A.B. Hernandez cares. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. That's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. Let me know what you think, and I cannot wait to read your comments down below. Peace out.